Hey, Sammy. Good girl. Good pop. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Are you gonna get in the way? Yeah.
Alright, quick one for you today. We're actually in the old man shop. We're going to change oil on my mom's FJ Cruiser. So we're going to get that done really fast. And you know, we could use the lift, but someone's got too many projects going on.
Got an inline 6 out of a 40 series here. Sammy's sniffing around. This is out of the Tacoma. That's out of the Land Cruiser. These are all Tacoma parts. Get over here. Oh yeah, you know, get him this nice lift and then it's, well, I'll give him the credit for finishing it and making it nice, but Tacoma frame's been on the lift for a while. But yeah, so we can't use that, so I guess we're gonna lay down on the ground, do the oil change that way. It's tight in here, you know, the shop is not that old and it's already packed full of, can't even squeeze. Oh man, gotta go under. There's the electric scooter waiting for spring to come. A lot of my stuff's here. Drift car, well, we can go see it really fast. Drift car's outside. I'll be right back, you stay. There she is in all her glory, sitting being sad, waiting for next track season to come up. So I figured we'd try something different today. I was going through the comments on one of the videos we posted recently, and it was of my buddy Chase's 2011 Tundra. It's a 5.7 truck with about 350,000 miles on it. And the shorts, you guys, you know, they're kind of fun, and a lot of times they end up being satirical, kind of funny. And what I did is I basically made this video saying, what is Toyota doing? And my point was, here we have this 5.7 Tundra that has over 350,000 miles on it. And the thing is great. It's in great shape. It runs great. No major leaks, no major problems. Comes in for maintenance. In the video I said, you know, about 50,000 miles ago, 300,000 miles on the truck, I put a water pump in it and a radiator, I believe. But that's essentially it. This truck just keeps working. And the point I was making in that video was titled, you know, what is Toyota doing? And I said that in reference to the new twin turbo V6 and new twin turbo V6 hybrid trucks that are out. That video blew up, was over 50,000 views basically overnight, and it was like a month ago, and I'm still getting comments on that video. So in response to this video, people are saying, well, Toyota finally figured out, you know, they jumped on board with Chevy, Ford, Dodge, that you got to sell parts and have things that break down. And I don't think the answer is that simple. I said 100 times, 100 million times, I should have just saved my response as a response comment. I said Toyota's never been that way. Toyota's always made vehicles that just last and just work, and that's what they're about. They're about building lifelong customers that always want to buy Toyotas. Hold that thought for a second while we get this oil filter cracked loose. Let her drain. By the way, if you're doing this, I highly recommend only using the actual Toyota filter cups. Go buy one from your dealer, well worth it. The off-brand ones I've tried just strip out and break, and they can wreck the filter housings. Oh, good God. Who put this on here last? I did? Guess I really didn't want this to come off. There we go. So I meant that though. I don't think that that's the answer. I don't think that Toyota just all of a sudden decided that they're going to build disposable vehicles so that people have to buy more cars. I think the answer is much deeper than that and much more problematic than that. I think that our government has been strong-arming people into making cars that have unrealistic fuel mileage expectations before the technology is developed. Now, you can cry EcoBoost, you can cry EcoDiesel, but everybody knows that the 5.7 is a gas hog. And my argument is, I'd rather have a reliable truck that's hard on gas that never needs to be in the repair shop than have one that gets slightly better gas mileage. And the Toyota twin turbo V6s have had a huge problem. I'm sure you've seen it now. It's a horrendous issue. I just had one of the commenters on that video said he bought a brand new Platinum for over $80,000, and now the resale value of it is about $42,000, because if you haven't seen that twin turbo V6, again, it's fairly new, so I'm sure that Toyota will work the bugs out. They're blowing the main bearings out of them and they're junk. They're replacing motors, and Toyota is trying to make it right. They're trying to fix this issue, but I think they were strong-armed into getting rid of their V8, which was super reliable, because everyone's like, ooh, we need to get better gas mileage. That's not how it should work. You should be, your sales, your development, all of those things should be based on what the consumer thinks. And I think most people were pretty happy with their gas hog 5.7s that lasted 400,000 miles. I don't think the majority of people that buy a truck to do truck things would disagree with me here. I don't think that they care as much about the mileage. I mean, they're having engines replaced, for crying out loud. So if Toyota would have been able to just organically develop this stuff and not be strong-armed or sped up into it, I think they could have figured it out. And I was always under the impression that Toyota was probably going to come out with something like this because the Ford EcoBoost in their F-150s came out so far ahead that I kind of thought Toyota would be watching that and kind of perfect it, see the issues that they had, because that's what Toyota's always done, is build reliable vehicles. And one thing I think that Ford got right is super smart. You can get an EcoBoost F-150 if you want. There's a few options for that, but you can still get a V8. And now all of a sudden, Toyota's only Tundra options are to get a twin-turbo V6 or a twin-turbo V6 hybrid. Neither one of those things really enticed me to buy them. I want something that's simple, that makes reliable power, that I know is going to do the work I want it to do, not something overly complicated that, look at where it's gotten Toyota. Again, I know it's early, but I just think it's shameful that they were kind of strong-armed into this, and now they're having this issue, and one of the most reliable V8s that they had is just gone, right? It's no longer a thing because somebody in an office somewhere said it wasn't fuel efficient enough and it was ruining the environment. And you guys, I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion that's different than mine. If you think Toyota's on the right track, that's great. I'd love to hear about it. The other thing I'd like to note is that new vehicles as a whole, everyone wants their heated, air-conditioned seats, their giant touchscreens, all of this stuff. And I think we're never going to see vehicles that are as reliable as they used to be. I think the creme de la creme for vehicles that were luxurious, quote unquote, or had a decent amount of creature comforts, but also were reliable. You know, you're not dealing with emissions, carburetors, stuff like that. Everything just ran pretty good. Was like the late 90s to early 2000s. There wasn't so much tech there that what's happening now is everybody wants all these fancy things, but if you built a car to the quality standards that you did in the late 90s, early 2000s, and you added all of this tech, I mean, they got to cheapen them up somewhere, whether that's the material they use to cast the blocks, whether it's the physical body. Go to any new pickup and slam the door really good and watch the sheet metal wave on the doors. They have to cheapen these things up somewhere, because if they add all this technology, all these fancy things that everybody likes now, their Apple CarPlay, whatever, at some point, if you build things to the same physical quality that you did in the late 90s, early 2000s, and add all that stuff, I mean, look at the ridiculous prices of new cars now, just as it is. If you had the exact same physical quality as you did back then, and you added all that stuff on top, where do you think our prices would be?
So that's what I had, guys. Food for thought. What do you think? That video has gotten so many views, it just really got me thinking, and I really do not think that Toyota would be in this position if somebody in an office somewhere didn't say that vehicles had to get 40,000 miles to the gallon and be environmentally friendly. At the same time, they're pushing the EVs on us, and I'm not even going to get into that. But do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion. Drop it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, subscribe if you've not already, and as always, we'll see you next time.